Welcome back, everyone. This is the FloTrack podcast. Happy Friday. I am Kevin. He is Gordon. Our email address is flotrackpodcast@gmail.com. You can watch the show on our YouTube page. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Listen to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We have a jam-packed show today, Gordon. And also Colt is back.
Colt's back.
That's the most important thing.
That is the most important thing.
You're back in the normal desk.
I'm back. I'm not over there at the kids' table. I'm always at the kids' table. Every Thanksgiving and Christmas meal, I'm at the kids' table. And then when Colt's gone, I'm put to the kids' table.
Colt, thoughts on the show when we were gone? Did you watch the whole thing back, take notes?
No, I came in pretty late, but Gordon had some good opinions that,
Stop lying. You showing up in the chat was one of the most surprising things that happened in history of the show.
Yeah.
And it made me so Gordon can tell you, I didn't stop talking about it. After the show ended, I was just so pumped that you joined us.
I mean,
to dunk on Gordon.
Chat Colt is a very different version than producer Colt.
Right.
The gloves come off.
Yeah, I like Chat Colt. I think so.
Yeah.
Every so often, I think producer Colt needs to become Chat Colt.
I think
we should have Chat Colt Wednesdays.
Ooh.
Where on Wednesday, Colt isn't producing. He's producing, but he's also chatting.
Doing both things?
Yeah, he's trolling us.
I think that
while
might
producing.
I think that might have been a preview for 2023 Colt. That's kind of the persona he's going to take on in the new year when we, really go.
It's also funny when he says, "I can't
the
work," but then he can chat.
Well, you know how his industry is.
Yes, I know.
How was that? Was that during lunch break or something, Cole? What were you doing?
Yeah, I was on lunch break. Just had to tune in and see how the guys are doing.
He cares about the show.
It was a political podcast.
There you go.
Yeah, Gordon was talking about making money. It was he cares about the show. I appreciate it. I thought it was cool that you tuned in. Well done.
Do we want to one last follow up to that back and forth we had about Max Siegel?
Sure.
He was quoted.
Yeah.
He had followed up. A reporter who
Times of San Diego.
San Diego.
Yeah.
Got an interview with him and his reaction to the reaction of his $3.8 million salary. And he talked about how his 19-year-old daughter was sending him tweets that were mocking his salary, and he did not like that. And he also said how, I'm not quoting him verbatim here, but basically say, why is every year, whenever we want to have a good USATF conference, there's always drama coming up, and kind of saying every year this happens. And then also mentioned that you don't see gold medalists complaining about my salary.
To which Michael Johnson responded.
Well, then Max Siegel should have said gold medalist during my tenure.
Current, yeah. Put it in parentheses.
During my tenure, because Michael Johnson could technically be well,
maybe I should specify. Yeah, he raised his hand and then said times 12 because he's won 12 gold medals.
But Max Siegel should raise his hands I wasn't there.
Yeah. Asterisk to the asterisk. He said it was the worst week of his life, too. Listen.
Worst week of his life?
Yeah. I mean, I get it. You're in a public role, though. You're going to have this sort of criticism. I don't really understand you haven't seen a gold medalist criticize me, because gold medalists in theory are the ones making more money in the sport. So it would make sense that they would be less upset about a critique of the disparity between what he makes and what some of the athletes makes. So that I don't think that argument really went to the core of what people were complaining about when his salary was discussed. But I mean, I think the meeting has the potential to be interesting. Maybe it'll be like previous meetings, like people have said, listeners in the chat and other observers have said, hey, these things, oftentimes you think there's going to be these big changes and nothing comes of it, but maybe the timing of this will be something where we'll get some news out of the meeting. I don't know.
I will say, I do think that line, the gold medalists aren't the ones complaining. I think that you can extrapolate that mindset, and you can potentially, I'm just trying to read through what that line says, but I do think USATF has a lot of members, right?
Yeah, tons
of members.
Yeah.
But I do think there may be a disconnect in the relationship between leadership and the members, and the relationship between leadership and the
elite athletes.
Cindy McLaughlin's, Allison Felix's, Fred Curley's of this world, right? And that maybe Max is trying to imply that I spend my time focused on the, not just the people who make Team USA, but the people who make Team USA and make finals and potentially win medals.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the the person who finished 30th at club cross country.
Yeah. But I don't think but there's also that group in between, right?
Yeah.
Between the gold
Who's trying to
medalist
go from
and the club cross country athlete or the masters athlete.
Yeah.
You know, the person who got a bronze medal perhaps or a silver medal or who's made a bunch of teams but doesn't have a medal at all. I think the gold medalists aren't weighing in as much. Number one, they're not as, it makes sense because they're not as impacted as it, but also they're probably dealing with, you know, they're busier, presumably, right?
Yeah.
They're not paying as much attention to the day-to-day goings on of the sport as somebody who's really plugged in. That's my interpretation. But I get what you're saying there. It is a big membership base and it serves a lot of constituencies. The problem is, I mean, a lot of the criticism we saw from the athletes was from legitimate elite athletes, just not ones who were, you know, it wasn't the biggest of stars.
Yeah.
Right. So
anyway,
we'll put a pin in that one.
Another year, I mean, when he makes 4.1 million next year,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to do this all over
He
again.
puts it at he needs to put it at 3.7.
Oh yeah,
next year.
that's he goes down.
I
He
took
goes
a cut.
down. 3.79. Hey guys,
What's the complaining
look
about?
at the trajectory.
Yeah.
If I'm here for another 100 years, I'll be making like $10.
Exactly. By the time the Nike deal's over, I'll be making way less money. All right, big news in the running world. Huge, gigantic news that I think everybody's in favor of this news, right? 100% approval rating on this news.
No, there are probably some potential Boston Marathon potential winners who are like, oh, there goes my chance.
Okay, but I'm excited.
There's probably one person, the person who gets second in 2023, is upset about this.
Eliud Kipchoge is going to run the Boston Marathon. We've waited a long time. He's run all the other majors except for New York. And he made the announcement yesterday that he'll be running at the 2023 Boston Marathon. Couldn't be more excited for this, Gordon. I could not be more excited. If you told me 5-6 years ago when we were starting to project what would the end of Eliud Kipchoge's career look like, and you said, you know, in 2023 he's going to run the Boston Marathon, I'd say, man, I wish he would do it earlier. Could he do it earlier when he's more in his prime? But he's still in his prime.
Came off world record.
Yes, this will be his first marathon after world record. This could not have worked out better. I don't know if this was all part of a master plan going back 5, 6, 7 years for Kipchoge, like when he first started the marathon, or if it just came up by happenstance. Either way, it's going to be great to see him. Greatest men's marathoner of all time on the most iconic course in the sport. The field against him is going to be good, although I think most people just want to see Kipchoge versus this course. That's what they want to see. They want to see him on the hills in Boston. They want to see him going for it on Patriots Day. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, it was like finally he is starting to go down the path of completing all the majors, right? Because we keep on saying like he still got to do Boston, New York, still got to do it, and then he chooses to do Berlin instead of saving it for New York City. And we're like, all right, is he going to go back to London again when it moves into the spring? And you just keep on thinking, when is he actually going to do it? Like, we keep on thinking he's going to run up against Father Time, but excuse me, we finally have like the begin. Is it safe to say, is this the beginning of the end?
No, this is just the beginning of him exploring a little bit. I don't think this is the end at all.
I feel like it's the beginning.
What else did he have to prove at London? Berlin, we think's faster than London, right? That's where he goes to get his world record. So he would have just got he could have gotten another course record at London, but it's been there, done that for him. And I think for Boston, it means he really is sincere about checking off all the boxes, about winning all the majors. I don't know if this guarantees he'd do New York in the fall.
I think it. See, that's why I think it might be the beginning of the end, because I think he does Boston now, then he does New York in the fall, and then he does Paris
Preps for the
2024, and then you're done.
Yeah, it could be, but also.
But then he's like, I'm doing 2028 LA. And
He just came off the world record. Like the world record just happened. We're not like peering 10 years back into history to figure out when this guy broke a world record. I just think this is so. It's unique to running, right? Because you have multiple majors at the same time. So there's not always a guarantee that you're going to get to run all the different marathon courses throughout your career. And looks like he's going to be able to do that. And you want to see these all-time athletes at the all-time venues, right? Imagine if in tennis, all 4 majors were in the same season. And it's like, man, one of these times I want to see Roger Federer play Wimbledon. Or I want to see Serena Williams like play in New York City or at Roland Garros. Like, you're getting the athlete matched up with the appropriate stage and appropriate venue. And in the United States, there's nothing bigger marathon-wise than in Boston on Patriots Day. Yeah. That's it. That's the pinnacle. That's what you want to see.
I'm excited to see Eliud Kipchoge's like pitching form when he probably is going to pitch out the first pitch on the day after.
Yeah, you're already moving forward.
The Red Sox, you know?
Oh, you think he'll do it before?
The day after.
Oh, okay. He'll win, and then
Tuesday.
Yeah, he's 95 right down the middle.
Yeah.
The Red Sox will probably be in need of a closer by that point anyway. So let's just bring in the man. It is cool though. It's going to be a legit field. Now, I know
there's no such thing as a legit field against Kipchoge.
Yeah, you're 100%. I agree with you. It could be Kipchoge versus nobody in Boston, and I would tune into a stream
Kipchoge time trial?
Yeah. I've seen 2 of those before, and I liked season 1. Season 2 is even better than season 1. Season 3 in Boston, where the whole goal is to go after Mutai's course record of 2:03:02, which, I mean, remember that was a crazy weather year, right? So that took the wind at his back the entire way.
I like that you had that memorized.
Yeah, well, for a while that was the fastest time ever run, but it wasn't record eligible.
Yeah.
And then luckily we didn't need to say that because the record got faster than that. But that was such an outlier time. But 2:03:02 for Kipchoge, it's not an outlier time. I still think he will need cooperation from the weather, and we don't know how he'll play this race in terms of, hey, am I just going to run this like an Olympic race where there's no rabbits, or am I really going to go for it? But it's in play. It has to be in play.
Okay,
it's Kipchoge.
Talk to me like I'm 12. No, talk to me like I'm like 8.5. So, obviously, when the 2:03:02, that was like the fake world record.
Yeah. Fastest time ever run.
But that wasn't
a marathon. Yeah.
Yeah. Does this mean what I'm about to say is going to sound stupid?
That's okay.
Right?
Earlier today, you asked me. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it. Go ahead.
Yeah. No. We don't talk about earlier today. If 2:03 at one point was the world record.
Yeah.
And the world record holder, not just a world record, but a guy who's on sub 2, would a Boston Marathon course be sufficient for him to like run even faster than his PR?
So it depends on the weather, right?
Okay. So if he had perfect weather, would he be able to run peak Kipchoge time?
You talking about faster than 2:01:09? You talking about 1:59:40?
1:59:40.
Yeah, okay, so Mutai 2:03:02, his second best time, he ran a 2:03:13 in Berlin. So I don't think there was that much of a gap between those two.
But it was 10 seconds faster. So what's 10 seconds faster? I mean,
yeah. But
what I'm saying is, if
I
we
don't
had
think
perfect weather, would Kipchoge shock the world?
I don't think we're going to get a 1:59.
Okay.
I think if we do get the crazy freak weather that just was a wind tunnel for everybody that year in Boston, yeah. But that hasn't happened since. So that's a rare occurrence, right? That was the same. What did Ryan Hall run? 2:04:59 or something like that? 2:04:58 that year. Like, everybody just had out of this world PBs.
When is the Boston Marathon?
Patriots Day.
No, like when's Patriots Day?
April.
April what?
This year,
17th?
That sounds about right.
Weather, April 17th, 2023.
You gonna call your shot right now?
Boston.
I heard that weather forecasts 4 months in advance.
No, they do it.
They're really accurate, though.
Weathertab.com.
Yeah.
We got April 2023, Monday, the 17th.
Yeah. What do you got? Oh, no. Which direction's the wind going?
Precipitation forecast, moderate risk. If rain or snow does fall in the month, expect most of it to fall on the high and moderate risk days. These are not rain/snow forecasts, but weak spots in the month, which would mean more easily allow passage of a storm through the area. 55% chance of rain or snow.
But that's on December 3rd.
No,
2nd.
This is April 17th,
I know, but we're
2023.
forecasting it on December. So we need to have a monthly update on what the weather's going to be like in Boston on April 17th.
Colt,
I agree.
Start getting out your Excel sheets.
Yeah.
It says the high temperature is
I'll be ready.
57 to 67, low is 35 to 45.
We need Colt in front of a green screen with his weather models and telling us what it looks like. It's all about
World record's off.
No, the temperature.
I was in it for like a good 45 seconds, but then I read this forecast. I'm just like,
the temperature is important. The thing that really pushed it over the top is the wind going in the exact right direction, right? It's point to point. So you need the wind going in the exact right direction. Again, I'm not going to take it off the table because he's Kipchoge and it's happened before. But I think what's more likely is I think what's more interesting or more possible, obviously, is course record. Can he run faster than 2:03:02, even if the weather isn't that great, right? Even if he doesn't get the weather that we saw back in, 2011 during that race. Can he get it there? That would be interesting and fun for me. He has guys in this race that are legit, like Evan Chebet, Boston champ, New York champ, Benson Kiprutu, the Chicago champ. Like, these are the other guys. Like, if Kipchoge had retired or had Kipchoge had decided to do something else, these would be the guys that we'd be talking about as contenders, best marathoner of the year, and the top dog right now. And they're all going to be there in Boston. So this is a great field besides him. You're right. When Kipchoge's in the field, though, it's all just about him versus the course. But I do think we're all going to keep an eye on the time, at least for the first half of the race, because if it's on, it's on. Because we've seen this too many times.
Obviously, we have many months to talk about the race, many months to talk about the time and the elements and all that. But I want to talk about, what do you want to see Boston? What do you want to see Kipchoge in Boston doing? Obviously, throwing out the first pitch at the Red Sox game. Do you want to see him at a Celtics game wearing the green?
No, I don't want to see him wear the green.
What do you want to see?
Well, I mean, I'm not a Celtics fan, so that wouldn't do anything for me.
But
April.
Do you want him to see him in the harbor, and some tea over the I want to see him dressed up in full colonial garb,
or doing doing the town with John Hamm.
Yeah, ooh,
something like that.
Are we gonna see a Mark Wahlberg, Eliud Kipchoge mashup? Potentially.
There's a lot of possibilities here. I hope the people of Boston know what they're getting. Do you think they know what they're getting?
I don't think they're prepared.
Yeah, but now they have 4.5 months of hype
to prepare for Kipchoge. It's like when the Pope comes.
Get the billboards ready now.
Kipchoge's the Pope of running. Yeah. So you got to prepare.
One day he meets Jason Tatum. the next day he meets David Ortiz.
It's going to be such a big deal. Tom Brady's going to be I'm just going to come in to Boston, say hi, and then go back to Tampa.
Yeah, he's an afterthought at this point. David in the chat says Kevin always talks to Gordon like he's 8. Is that do I really? I'm sorry if I do that.
It's okay.
In a good way, or that can be taken 2 different ways. Yeah, that can be hey, he breaks things down for you into manageable chunks. Why did you frame it like that? Oh, because you just didn't know why 2011 was that fast?
No, I knew 2011 was fast, but I also know Boston's hard. It's a hard.
Yeah.
But it's weird. It's hard, but also
point to
fast.
Point, because it's point to point.
I know it's point to point in that downhill.
Yeah.
So I was just is it crazy? I don't want to. The last time I said, "Are we going to see a world record?" I get thrown.
You got a song about
I got a song about me.
Maybe you could get a Kipchoge song about
thrown into the wood chipper for having the audacity to say world record. So I was hey, will Kipchoge break the world record at Boston? I didn't want you to be Gordon, that was a dumb statement. I was trying to get ahead of it.
Yeah, I don't think it can't count as a world record. So
I know it can't count, but world record, all conditions, bullshit.
I mean, if you want to go really out there, and I'm sure somebody will write this story, it's can he go sub 2 at Boston? I think the answer is clearly no.
That'd be cool.
I don't think so. But
how happy would Boston people be? Not people, but the organizers be our course record is sub 2.
Yeah.
Take that, Berlin.
Remember when we were talking about? I think we were talking about this after this last fall marathon season after he did Berlin, but the world where he didn't do the breaking 2 attempts or the Ineos 159, and he just was trying in legit attempts, because now the world record would be down to 201 low. And you wouldn't have this 159 thing out there. And I think people would start saying, well, forget the time trial. Can you do it in a legitimate race? Or can you do it in a Boston if he gets the right conditions? I think the fluctuation of possible times for Kipchoge in this race is greater than it's been in any marathon in his career. Because if he gets good weather and he goes for it, I think he can break that course record and run 202. If the weather's bad, and he doesn't really go for it, and his whole intention is just to win the thing, he could run 212 or something.
Will we or won't we see an Instagram post of Kipchoge drinking a Sam Adams at the Sam Adams Brewery?
After? Yeah.
Before or after?
I think he should do all the generic Boston stuff.
Yeah. Kipchoge has it.
Yeah. It's like when I went to Ireland. It's like, do the Guinness tour. So you have to check all the tourist boxes, I think. Get one of those, the black and white cookies. Those are delicious.
Those are good.
Yeah. Mike's, is that the famous bakery place?
Black and white cookies are really good.
Yeah. Yeah, he should do all that. He should live it up. Cliff said there's no point for Kipchoge to break that course record. Just focus on the win. So far, he has beat Evans, Chibet, or he hasn't beat Evans, Chibet, and Benson Kipruti. I mean, come on, let's have some fun though.
Yeah,
let's have some fun. If this is his one time there, you want to know you got the best Kipchoge there, and it's a lot of people have won. Nobody's run 2:02.
Okay, so let's wrap this up with worst case, best case scenario. Best case scenario, he's breaking 2 hours, winning, and there's freaking Mark Wahlberg
run straight to the Red Sox
the
game.
Entire Red Sox organization just like signing him to close out the game-winning save that clinches a World Series berth 8 months before the World Series.
Mm-hmm.
That's best case scenario.
Practical.
There's fireworks everywhere. Worst case scenario would be like a DNF.
No, DNS. Always the worst.
DNS. That would be the worst.
Yeah. A week before, you read the tweet, or 2 days before.
Because if he I think, when's the last time we've had it? Has Kipchoge ever DNS'd?
Marathon? No.
Because the moment he has his first DNS, that's when you say this is the beginning of the end. Because then you know there's an injury involved. Like, one thing that's so great about his career is that he's been healthy.
Yeah.
Especially at this is an event. It's not an event that's easy to stay healthy in for such long periods of time. Like, you're lucky if you get good 3 years of health. Yeah. And he's getting like a decade of health.
Mm-hmm.
So
after a track career where he won a gold medal.
Yeah. So that's the one thing that when we keep on talking about what is in Kipchoge's plan, I think until we get his first DNS, he is running forever.
That's fair. That's fair. I think a lot of people are going to talk about this is his first time on a hilly course, not his first time at a championship course, because he's of course won 2 Olympic marathons. Now those courses weren't like Boston, but the weather in both of those was not ideal. The time wasn't fast. I think he'll be fine in terms of winning. I just think the weather is going to play a bigger role in how he decides to approach this than pretty much anything else, which is why I think this is such a wide variation. So,
anyway, he did it. He's doing it. It's happening. He said he was going to do it.
He called his shot, man.
He called his shot, and now he's running.
It was one of those things I didn't think it was gonna. There was always a seed of doubt, and then when I saw it, I was like, oh.
And now New York knows he's definitely coming.
New York needs to start lining up they need to get all their. But
New York has an advantage because New York can be like, you kind of want to run here.
We're the last
we
one.
can lowball you and be like.
Don't lowball the man.
They could. They know everything. It's like when Derek Jeter basically told the Yankees he was going to resign, so they didn't have to give him as lucrative a contract, whereas Aaron Judge is like, I'm going to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So you got to.
Well, what's the difference in money here? I just think he would bring so much. And if that was the last one.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like it would be the last one in terms of getting the career marathon major. That's a great story to have, too. You want to have that. Women's side of things, we'll talk more about this when the fields get unfurled. This was basically just a Kipchoge just doing it, holy crap, edition. But Gotoyim Gebrselassie, who won world champs this year, Edna Kiplagat, Des Linden are on the announced field. It's gonna be a solid race. Remember, London is going to be in the spring again, though, too.
Live on Flow.
They're going to have to compete with London. London men's field basically is going to have to. They're getting like whatever's left because like Boston clearly with Chibet, Kiprutu, and Kipchoge got the big 3 stars. Women's side though, I think they're going to be fine. So we'll keep tabs on that. All right, next topic. What do we got? Unless you want to look at some comments here.
Let's talk about the BU meet.
Yes. Why don't you lead this one, Gordon?
You love putting the collegiate
you love putting
running on me.
Marathoning on me.
I do.
I'm not going to go sit at another desk, though.
I do appreciate you. You're my marathon.
When is it? How do people watch it? What should people watch for? How about that?
This weekend, tomorrow, Saturday all day, 9 a.m. to like when you go to bed. The BU season opener is back. For those who don't know, it's the marquee track meet that happens in December where a lot of distance athletes coming off a cross-country season decide to skip Thanksgiving train through Thanksgiving and give one last effort with all their fall fitness to try to get a time qualifier for NCAAs, maybe even a world championship standard. You name it, they're going for it. And this meet has gotten better and better as years go on because people have realized, hey, why not just take cross country and get a track race out of it? And then all of a sudden you check a box before you go home for Christmas. And so the BU 5Ks, 3Ks, miles have all been formed. Ultimately, everyone's focused on the 5K. And we have two really good races live on FloTrack this weekend on Saturday. Start with the men's 5K. We'll bring up the start list here. Nico Young, NCAA runner-up. He's going to be leading the field, which is going to have basically a who's who of collegiate distance runners. Brian Fay of Washington, Kai Robinson, so two guys who run sub-1320s. Kieran Lum, who did not run cross-country, but he's a 1320 guy as well. Casey Klinger, he was a top 5 finisher. Drew Bosley's in the mix. Alex Mayer, we know what he can do for Oklahoma State. Basically,
Where's Hicks?
Hicks is not there. No Hicks.
We're missing Hicks, but everybody else.
We're missing Hicks. So, but everyone else, the two Harvard guys, the Oklahoma State guys, and NAU guys, BYU, most of the Stanford people, and then a few unattached athletes or Under Armour athletes like Eduardo Herrera, Casey Neville-Bard, a who's who of distance runners in their 20s to 24-year-old shape. My question is, how fast, who wins, and how fast do you think they go? I would say Nico is the favorite here, right?
Yeah, I think Nico's got to be the favorite. Are they going to rehash cross country? Is Drew going to go out with him? Be a little Bosley, Young?
I think
duo at the front.
I think Drew's going to try to just stick on Young. But no, actually, they're going to just trust the pacer, right? Because they're going to be 13-15 pace.
Yeah.
So they're just going to trust the pacer and then just see who holds on. The more and more I think about that, though, because it's not like a championship-style race, I do think there's a chance that Nico doesn't win and that someone like Kieran Lum comes in and or Casey Neville-Bard, who just has really good kicks. They're in a race, and then just who has it's an indoor track. You got to have a good kick.
So how fast do you think they're going to go, though?
I think it's going to be 13.
Okay. But if they run 13-13, then there's not going to be a lot of people left to kick.
Yeah, it'll be like 3 people.
Yeah. I'm still rolling with Nico. So 13-13, that's not...
Like, I could see Alex Mayer winning.
Collegiate record's 13:08. Indoors. There a chance?
Talk to me like I'm 8. Maybe.
13 minutes, 8 seconds. Lowy Lalang, 2012. I mean, Wild Shot ran 13:09 last year. That was in February. That wasn't.
You know what? They're running 13. They're running 13:07.
You don't need to protect your collegiate record. I just was thinking.
I did ask NAU coaches, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to get a world standard? They said they're just trying to get top 16 mark. But
what's a top 16 mark now?
It's probably like.
Does anybody know?
It's gonna need to be like sub 13:30. But with all these people here, they're not gonna try to run sub 13:30. They're gonna try to win this race, and this race is gonna be fast, which means they're gonna run the 13 teens.
Yeah. Because the descending order list is gonna come from this race, so you want to be ahead of a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to be on the other side of that. I threw that time out there. Just I know on the women's side, it's been under attack at this meet in previous years. So
then on the women's side, we got the return of Caitlin Toohey coming off her NCAA title. Mercy Chalengot's in this race. The Alabama girls are there. Elise Stearns, who had a good run for NAU, I think she finished in the top 10, is in this race. And then also Natalie Cook, the star freshman. And can't forget about Kelsey Camille. She was third at NCAAs, a respectable third. So, but all eyes are going to really be on Caitlin Toohey. She has a seed time of 15:14. There's a bunch of non-collegiates in this field, like Annie Rodenfels, Katie Snowden, Gabby Jennings, Eleanor Fulton, the Haas twins. But Toohey here, what do you think about her? And is she even going to be running the 5K at NCAAs?
that's always the question,
right?
For everybody. 5K, 3K, DMR. Like, what do you choose?
A mile?
You try to qualify in all of them and then make the decision later.
Like there could be a situation where Caitlin Toohey wins this, maybe even breaks the collegiate record, and it's like I'm just not going to do it.
15-12 collegiate record. That's Sisson. Izzo at this race, remember 15-13 back
Yeah.
in 2019. I think was that the year when Werner ran it too, but had already gone ran unattached, basically.
Yeah.
So
It was weird.
I think now that was known at the time as this is like a golden era of collegiate women's 5,000 meter running. This year it remains to be seen if it's going to be that quick, but this meet has the potential to go that fast. So yeah, I think the winner is going to be. Don't you think under 15-15?
Yeah,
Isn't that,
I think so.
Isn't that a conservative thing? And Rodenfeld's, I know she's a pro, but remember last indoor season? She was really sharp.
Yeah.
Last indoor season, she runs for BAA. So if she's planning on running this race full go and she's fully healthy and everything like that, I think she'd be one to watch.
But
too.
Tui's going to win.
I don't know. Rodenfeld's run 15:08.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. We don't know how sharp she is. The collegiate athletes have the advantage / kind of disadvantage of coming after a cross country season. Some of them are going to be fresh. Maybe some of them are a little bit worn down, whereas the pros are just gearing up their season.
If you were Coach Hennis, and obviously Caitlin Tui coming off of a NCAA title, she's going to want to win more titles, but they clearly have a good enough team to put together a nasty DMR.
You're already doing DMR speculation.
And she can do well in the 3K. She lost in that 3K. Everyone remembers that. That kind of motivated Caitlin to become what she is now. And she has the 5K ability and even a mile ability. What if you were setting up her indoor season? What would you tell her? What would be her pathway of what she would run at NCAAs? Basically there's 3 options.
Yeah.
5K, 3K.
Right.
DMR 3K. Mile 3K.
Yeah. I mean, you're not gonna make the decision now, but
I'm asking you to.
5K. It depends what they have in the other events too, right? Like in the who else could run anchor basically in that DMR. I don't know, probably 5 and 3, and then find somebody else in the DMR.
So you just 5 and 3?
Yeah, I mean, you have the potential to get 20 points. What's the team race look like overall?
I'm
they have a
working
shot
on
to get on
that.
the podium?
Maybe.
So that's the other.
If Kelsey Camille can run like top 3 finish and 3s and 5s, then all of a sudden it's like, whoa, they go from a 20 point to now being in the 40, like 30 to 40 points. So
here's what I know. We never know anything about what anybody's going to run, and we're usually wrong about predicting it because we do this every winter.
But sometimes we're right.
Yeah. Well, the one year you're right about Oliver Hoare running 3 races, he did it.
I did predict NAU's podium last year.
That's true. But you predicted distancing to podium every year, so you don't get credit
I guess
for
what
that.
I'm doing again this year.
I did. NAU's going to podium, guys.
You know who has the second fastest 1,500 meter time returning?
George Kusha. You know who doubted George Kusha all season? That guy, Gordon.
But now I'm putting into positive. I'm like, this guy's going to score 8 points in the mile.
So him plus Nico, Drew.
And then a DMR.
When is the last time the DMRs worked out for them?
They have never qualified their DMR.
Okay. So literally
but
never in this era. I know, but you're like...
Colin Solomon's a miler.
It's so funny that you're just such a strong believer in a thing that's never happened. When it does happen...
It's going to happen.
Yeah, but...
Oklahoma State also could be a wild card.
Well, right.
Distance only.
I just think... Yeah, you need a lot of bodies, but you also need a lot of bodies in that mid-distance range, too.
Dude, I'm going to be talking about this for 3 straight months. It's
okay,
going to be great.
So that's code for move on.
5K, 2E, collegiate record, yes or no?
What was it again? Sorry,
1508.
No, it's 1512.
1512.
I'll
5,
say
4, 3, 2, 1.
Sure. Yes.
And then Nico Young, 1308. No. So no for Young, yes for Tui.
Yeah.
I'm going to go yes for Tui and yes for Young. Let's see it happen live on FloTrack.
1306.
We're doing it.
Love it.
There's also some other good races. The 3Ks are good.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Engels is entered in the 3K. Be interesting.
Right on. Yeah. See what he's got.
See how he's doing after his coaching change. We all know he left Union Athletics Club to go back to his college coach. And it's going to be a good, Yassine Abdallah's in that race.
Yeah.
Fouad Masuda of Oklahoma State's in that race. I definitely effed up
Masawi, I think.
Yeah, Masawi. Sorry, I screwed up your name. And then the women's 3K, Kaylee McCabe. She has some wheels. She's in that 3K.
Mm-hmm.
The mile has a few people, I think. Let me search. The mile. Allie Cash is in the mile. So she's pretty good. Runs for A6, 430 miler. And then the men, we're already starting with the Georgetown milers. They got 3 guys seated at 359. Dude, Georgetown's going to have like 50 sub 4
Some
miles.
things never change.
Speaking of mile and sub 4 mile, we need to start a campaign, you and me. I know it's December.
interested.
I know it's December.
Yeah.
I know it's indoor season. But you know what I'm already thinking about when it comes to the mile.
What the qualifying time is going to be to get in to the NCAA meeting?
No.
What are you thinking? I don't know.
The mile. What's happening in the spring?
I don't know. Am I off on this? Explain to me like I'm in third grade.
What notable mile event happens in the spring?
What notable mile event happens in the
Yeah.
spring?
That I'm going to talk about over and over again.
I don't know.
It's the 4x mile at Penn Relays.
Oh, okay. To be fair, you only did that once. I catch on to the things you do 6 or 7 times, like NAU's DMR.
But I'm on a campaign. I'm already looking at collegiate teams' schedules.
Okay.
And I'm on a campaign to try to get an ultimate 4x mile going. You know who's going to Penn? NC State. So maybe we'll get a refresh of that 4x15 for Caitlin Tui and company. Stanford, right now, it's going to Penn. You know they have that big 3.
They got a lot of mid distance.
They got some milers. If we can get NAU to go, their schedule's not out. This is what I want. Do you know what I want?
What do you want?
An NAU, Oklahoma State, Stanford, 4x mile, rematch. Oh, throw in BYU as well. Rematch cross country. Let's resettle it. Mainly Oklahoma State and NAU run a 4x mile, and that is a tiebreaker.
They already gave away the trophy.
No.
They bring it back.
We bring it back. We bring it to Philadelphia. We put it on the middle of the track.
Okay.
And we say, hey guys, head to head, we didn't like that. 6-man, that's bad. New tiebreaker. You win this 4x mile.
Yeah.
You're the 2022 cross country champions.
I think they'd
Thoughts?
I think Mike Smith would say, how about a 4x5K?
No, 4x mile.
4x mile.
All right, we'll do 4x2K. 4x3K. 4x3K. That'll be fun. 4x3K.
Yeah.
Because that's like everyone has a good 3K runner. 4x3K at Penn under the lights. You're commentating. We'll get Alex Lohr in the building. He'll commentate. I'll do sideline reporting. I'll hold on to the trophy, and then I will give the trophy to the rightful tiebreak winner.
You just want to hold the trophy, I think.
You like this idea.
You're already up on the.
Would you rather have this be the tiebreaker than the 6-man?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
Fun.
yeah, of course.
And it's only at Penn Relays. So if there's ever a tie cross country, you got to wait until Penn Relays.
And you have to show up.
And race a 4x3K.
Buy a flight. It's real simple.
Buy a flight.
All right. On the chat, Yoshi says, I was thinking Prefontaine Classic mile, bro. Yeah, so was I, man. I was lost when he said, what mile race do I talk about? Because it's not actually a mile race. It's a 4x mile race. So
they're running miles.
I almost said pre, but then I was like, Gordon doesn't really talk about the Prefontaine Classic mile that much. John wants to know, what time do these races go off?
Okay.
What are the start times? Let's get some start times. People have busy schedule. They got lives. There's a lot of sports on these days.
There are. So I would say tune into the whole thing, but you shouldn't. So the meet starts at 9 a.m. Central.
Yeah, he wants to know what time the A5000s are, I think.
But the 3Ks are good too.
Okay.
So A3K for women is at 1:13 Central. Men is at 2:13 Central. But the 5Ks, which is what you care about, we're talking women 3:30, men 5:10.
That's Central Time.
Central Time.
On Saturday.
Saturday.
David points out Simpson ran 15:01 oversized. He also said Hicks is doing European cross. That's why he's not there. Because as you know, he competes for
Great Britain.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a fun discovery. You know what? It's just let it be known.
Junior says
the guy lives in America, went to Florida high school. It made sense for me to think Charles Hicks was not was an American.
I'm not blaming you for it. I think a lot of people maybe made the assumption. If too slow, fade out kick Nico for top college athlete. John says Kipchoge doesn't drink. No Sam Adams.
He can pose with drinking though. Does he not drink? He has like the beer at Berlin.
Yeah. Do you have any evidence that he drank it? Or just held it?
I think Sam Adams makes non-alcoholic beer, don't they?
I think everybody makes
lager.
I think everybody makes non-alcoholic beer. Every beer
Does Kipchoge actually not drink, or he just is super healthy and he says he doesn't drink?
And there's no way of actually knowing that unless you lived with
look,
Kipchoge.
This is Kipchoge. Literally, we have a photo of him drinking.
He's just holding the foam into his mouth. Drink a lot of tea. Wow, this is an interesting headline Cole pulled up.
Anyway.
Yeah, he does get that cup very close to his mouth, but
That'll be a fun
you
challenge.
can't actually see it.
How much money would you give me if I was able, at Boston Marathon, get Kipchoge to drink a beer?
Yeah.
I should be able to do that.
I mean, if he's not going to do it there, I don't think he's going to do it. Because that's for the meet organizers. That's the sponsors, right?
Yeah.
Doing that one. So.
That's such a badass photo.
Yeah, but like you can see he's just holding it there.
Smelling it.
He's not actually drinking it.
Fumigating it. All right. What else are we talking about?
We could talk about Valencia Marathon, which is this
Sunday.
weekend. Yeah, this is going to be really good.
Live on Flow.
Yes, you can watch this one live on Flow as well, too. Let's bet Day. Everybody wants to know what she's going to do in her debut. She has the world record in the 5,000. She has the world record in the 10,000. She has the world record in the half marathon. Women's marathoning right now is just insanely deep. They're posting times that you didn't think was in the realm of possibilities. And then now entering this event is G'day, somebody who's run a half marathon that was otherworldly and has also run successfully in basically every distance that she's ever done. It's in a place that's super fast, which is Valencia. This just screams incredibly quick debut. World record on the first one would be totally nuts. I'm looking here at the entry list here. The next two names on the list after G'day, the two fastest based on PBs, Cabeda and Galana are 2:18 runners. If they're a little bit better, maybe G'day will have somebody to run with. But I think most people think G'day has the potential to smash that marathon debut record that was just set by Ayana this year.
2:17:20.
Yeah, and then go into the 2:16s or 2:15. I mean, people are saying crazy stuff like you're thinking like world record or 2:13 and times like that. So I don't know what to expect from it, but you got to tune in. I mean, this is incredible because she's doing this while she's still so young.
Yeah, and like she literally is. I mean, first of all, you got to tune in. Do you know what time you got to tune in at?
It's early.
Yeah, so it's 12:45 a.m. Central Time.
Yeah, but she's running so fast, you don't have to commit that much time.
That's a good point
to watch it.
You still get a good night's sleep.
Everybody's time, sports watching has all been screwed up because World Cup and everything like that. So yeah, you can tune in and check this out.
I mean, if you do you actually think she's gonna break the world record? Because there is still she's never done these extra 13.1 miles, and because you can still bonk at mile 20 or 23, and then all of a sudden she fades and runs a 2:18, and we're kind of like, okay, that's good, but
I don't think she's gonna get it, in part because that world record mark is there's those two 2:14s, and then there's nothing again until the mid 2:15s, and there's only 4 times in history faster than 2:16. So to get down to that range is rarefied air already. So I think the distance will take a little bit of adjusting, but balancing that out, the insane half marathon time, the fact that she's still in her, basically in the beginning of her prime, and
track prime.
Everything is fast in Valencia. Everything is minutes faster than you'd expect it to be in Valencia. I'm going to say she doesn't do it. I'm going to say she runs something like a 2:15, which is still sensational. But I'm going to feel stupid when she runs 2:13:45 and totally rewrites the record books and revolutionizes what we thought was possible.
Over under 107 for a half.
I think she'll go out. I think she'll go out faster than that, but I think ultimately she'll finish it. 2:15 high.
So you think she'll go out 106 something?
107 dead. You're saying 107.00?
Yeah.
Also go slightly under. So
106
high.
50s.
Yeah. And then I think she'll positive split on the back half. They're talking about the world record. They've seemed to bypass the competition and bypass
debut.
All those other intermediate goals. They're not interested in that.
We're going to the end.
Yeah.
I'm a one-race career marathoner. Yeah. She's going to come in, run it once, break the world record, and then retire.
Yeah, she's simulating her career on 4x speed, basically. It's I'm going to get all the records in 4 years, then I'll be good. So
imagine if people did that in sports. Yeah. It's I'm just going to play one season.
Yeah.
I'm going to win it all, break all the records, and then I'm done.
That's the G'day plan. I mean, her half is 62:52. 62:52. The next fastest half.
Some say that's pretty fast.
Yeah, the next fastest half is 63:51. So really the only argument for her not...
So she should break the world record by 2 minutes is what you're saying.
The only argument for her not breaking the world record is just basically it's her first time, and the marathon is tough to figure out. But I'm holding on to that. What do you think?
I think she'll break it
By like a lot or
by a little bit.
okay? So you don't think she goes into the next stratosphere? You're just saying basically she joins that top group.
I mean, just look at
I kind of like that.
Women's marathoning, man. It's not normal. The past 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Obviously, we have the shoes, but like, it's beyond that, dude. There's something about just like the influx of women just taking their status quo of what elite is and just like, nope, that's not elite anymore. We're turning running to teens is now normalized.
Yeah.
More and more and more. Now you do it more often. Now you're running 2:17 as a marathon debut. You're going to get closer to the world record. I think you see someone who's still in track prime is not like, she's not in the second phase of her career. She's still like in the second phase of the middle of her career. And she's,
Yeah. No, that's all that's, I mean, that's all those are the reasons why you want to pick her, right? And again, I'm not going to be surprised if come Monday we're on the show and we're talking about her being the world record or her putting it into a different category. Her doing to the world record what Kosgei did to it a few years ago, right? Like moving it into a different, like moving it outside of what we thought was possible. Because when Kosgei ran 2:14.04, she broke what was thought to be an outlier world record by over a minute and 20 seconds. There's a chance, the way people are talking about Gidey, they think she's going to do to that record, Kosgei's 2:14.04, what Kosgei did to Radcliffe's 2:15.25, which, again, is totally possible. The only thing I'm hanging on is just marathon eventually is going to get you. And I think because she's taking such a big swing, the possibility that she slows down on the back half is more acute than normal.
Cliff Chen says Gidey 2:13 or 2:14.
Yeah. I mean, why not? Why not? I don't think it's hyperbole. Again, the only thing I'm hanging on is just the fact that it's her first time. And I will say this. 13.1 more miles.
Whatever she runs, and you're a U.S. men's marathoner.
Well, there's going to be a lot of those comps on Sunday. Get ready for that. Well, if a guy ran 62.52, what would you think he could run in the full? Not just American, but a guy like just a guy. Because it's hard. You can't find any comp on the women's side because she's so far ahead. But like if a guy ran 62.52, do you think they could? You'd probably say they could run, 2:12.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying it's like you're not. You're not eligible to like. Should we just say like you got to run faster? Whatever she runs should be like the Olympic trials cutoff.
Not the trials, the like Olympic cutoff.
Olympic cutoff.
You do the thing where like at halfway, if you're not on pace,
you get taken off the track.
Yeah, like they do for the Ironman.
She's the official world standard.
Yeah, you just got to be in front of that line.
That'll be cool if we just like assign, different women that like whatever you run this year.
Yeah.
All the men need to be faster than that for like Sydney, you got to run faster than 50 point in the 400 hurdles for you to be eligible for the Olympics.
Or just in general, just a time in general, and then if you get off you got to be on the pace from the get-go too, because they'll pull you off the track. All right, we got 10 minutes left. What else is on here?
Saw a fun tweet.
Fun tweet
time. Today's segment of fun tweet time. We got Williams of Oregon.
Makai Williams
tweeting at Tyreek Hill. Gotta love this. We see this all the time, but now Williams is getting in the game. Says, "Hey, Cheetah, I heard you got some speed. You want to race after your season? I saw you on a 998, but you had a small hurricane at your back," reminding him about his wind-aided mark.
I love the wind reading.
What's good?
Okay.
Who would you take?
Williams.
I would take Williams,
Yeah,
too.
This isn't close. Tyreek Hill is slowly catching up to Usain Bolt on most challenged in a race athlete in sports history.
Yeah.
Because for a while there, it was anytime anybody ran fast in everything, in anything, any sport, football, basketball, tennis, could be a guy running to this mailbox and he'd tag Usain Bolt on it. And now it seems to be Tyreek Hill that everybody wants a shot at. Like he's the example of speed, which is weird because he's not the fastest man.
And then Tyreek responded, "Truz, I'm not one of them. You don't want that." I guess it's trust me, I'm not one of them. You don't want that. But here's his question.
He does want that.
But
Mekhi Williams would have everything to gain and nothing to lose by having this race, and Mekhi Williams would beat him.
Tyreek is a track. He knows track.
Yeah.
He knows Williams is good.
Yeah.
Right?
But he's fast.
So
he
doesn't
think anybody's faster than him. This is not.
No. Tyreek Hill knows he's not as fast as the top track guys in the world. You think Tyreek Hill thinks he is faster than Trayvon Bromell, Fred Curley, Mekhi Williams, Marvin Bracey?
I think he has a lot of confidence.
You think he?
I think he thinks he chose football, and if he stuck around at track, he could be just as fast.
Like when DK Metcalf, he didn't know because he doesn't know track. He didn't know track speed. He was like oblivious to.
Oh, I think he. Well, he could look at times.
He was oblivious, but
no, I think he knew.
Tyreek is smart enough to know what speed is because he was it in high school and in college.
Yeah,
he knows what real speed is.
Yeah.
So I think Tyreek knows his body type and the way he's been training. He knows he is not a 9'8" guy. He knows that. In his heart, if you gave him truth serum, he'd be like, "Yeah, dude, I was good in high school, but like, I'm a football player now. I'm not track speed." Tyreek knows. He secretly knows the truth, and he's just pretending he doesn't.
So he knows that he'd be a 10-1 guy now or something?
Yeah.
I mean, he also knows he's never actually going to race, so he can say whatever he wants.
But he knows he's 10-1, but he gets to pretend that he's 9'8".
I think he thinks he's that good.
I don't think he thinks that.
I think deep down...
Okay, do you think...
These guys are so confident in their abilities, and they think they can get it back.
I'm going to do it... I'm going to go with NBA. Do you think Russell Westbrook thinks he's a top 20 player in the NBA?
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
You think he thinks that?
Yes. Thank you, Colt. Yes.
No. He has to know he's not.
Listen.
There's certain athletes who objectively know that there are...
Some of them don't. I don't think Westbrook will be one of them. I mean, even you talk to an aging athlete in track and field. Hey, do you think you can get back to your form from 4 years ago when you ran 144?
Get back to your form is different.
No, but it's the idea that they always feel like they can get it. They always feel like they can recapture it. And if you're at the top, which Tyreek Hill was real fast, right? Racing against Andre DeGrasse, making world junior teams and stuff. He thinks now he's bigger. Now he's older. Now he's more experienced. He was at the top when he was doing it at a younger age. He could be at the top now. He's just doing some other activity. I think 100% he believes he could win. But I also think he has 0% intention of running this because he has everything to lose and nothing to gain. Whereas Williams, it's the other way around.
I think he's a smart
Williams
enough
could
guy.
beat him. See, Williams would be a really bad person for him to race too because Williams is so good out the blocks.
Yeah.
So the one advantage Hill would have, like even if they ran a 60, well, he's not beating Williams in a 60. No way. And the margin's growing from 60 to 100, so it's not going to be close. But I don't blame him. I mean, if I was a pro sprinter right now, sitting around, like, hey, I'm gonna challenge some people today.
Do you think they have like
They take turns.
They have like social media like planning schedule. Like, all right, who's on my who's my Monday? Okay.
Yeah. But see, no one goes to Tyreek Hill and is like, hey, I want to challenge you in catching passes. You know, it's always just a foot race. Right? That's always the challenge.
That's what we've been doing since
the dawn of time.
Is foot racing. That's what makes track cool.
No, I love it.
It's like the ultimate.
I love it. I just wish for once we'd see it. I mean, we saw that 40-yard dash championship, right? And then we saw Tyreek Hill at the Pro Bowl, right?
Yeah, they jog it.
He pulled up and...
I mean, the only time we actually had a legitimate moment was when Metcalf actually tried.
Which gave us a good barometer. Not to say everybody is as fast.
But Metcalf is nothing compared to Tyreek.
Hill's faster, and I agree with you. He wouldn't be as fast as he was back then.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I think he believes he's just as fast.
I think he knows he's not.
I think that's the mentality of a professional athlete, is you just are insanely confident because your whole life you've been basically the best at everything.
So you think the mentality of a professional athlete is like kind of a little bit, you're delusional.
You're one race away or you're one game away from proving.
So the best
your
athletes
true
are
talent.
all delusional.
Yeah, but in a good way.
I guess it's like a weird time where delusion is actually a benefit.
Yeah, and you're insanely confident too. How else do you explain like
Michael Jordan was delusional, but just
or something going wrong for an athlete, right? You start off the game and it's going terribly for you, and then your ability to turn it around real quick. Most we've seen it happen that it seems normal. Most people in that situation would completely fold.
Yeah,
but they just think they're one at bat away or one throw away.
Yeah, you could argue like Drew Bosley in a way was delusional when he went with Nico and Charles Hicks
100%.
through the first 8K, and that delusion paid off, and he gets third.
Do you know why he did that? What was Drew Bosley like in high school? Good.
Yeah.
Beating people all the time.
Yeah.
That's what he was doing, right? He was one of the best all the time.
And he continued to improve at NAU.
Goes to college. Was he the best all the time? No, but I'm sure, there's injuries or some issue popped up. But in his head, he knows.
Yeah, he led, freshman year, the Nutty Comb meet for like the first 5K.
He still, everybody thinks I'm still that guy or I'm still that girl, like from back then. Like I can still get it. All it takes is one race, which is why people's careers extend usually longer than they are actually at that level for, as opposed to people retiring way early going, I don't have it anymore. I'm good.
So yeah, it's like one of those things. Like, it's good to be delusional because then you put yourself in an opportunity to potentially run well, and that's what happens when you just go for it.
Yeah. According to AJT, Gabby Thomas said, quote, "To be a professional athlete, you have to be a little delusional in an interview." So the exact quote that you just said.
Me and Gabby Thomas are on the same wavelength.
I mean, think about, this is going to be hard for you, but think about something you were like really, really good at or really, really good at back in the day.
Hold on. This is going to be hard for you. Think about something you're really, really good at?
Yeah.
Why are you just publicly in my face saying like you're not good at things?
What were you really good at?
Very hard.
It's not public. There's only a few people on the chat and a couple of hundred people.
Thousands of people are going to listen to this.
Thousands. Stop. No, but think about something. What were you? Think of something. You don't need to say it out loud.
I know. I'm thinking of something that I was good at.
Do you want to say it? When you were like 18, 19, 20?
Oh, I was saying when I was a kid.
Oh, but I'm just saying if someone.
I was like good at two really good things. You want to know what it was?
Sure.
I was really good at connects. Like I could build anything out of connects, roller coasters, crazy models, whatever.
Yeah.
And I was really good at Minesweeper.
Okay.
Like really good.
Even if you didn't do it for a while, or even if you started getting crushed, like I think you'd have that belief that you could do it, that you'd figure out a way to get it done. Now, these are in the top 1% of human beings, like walking planet Earth, so it's a little bit different. But if you think about something that you were really successful in, like most people have some irrational confidence or some delusion in something. It's just a matter of what it is.
I do remember when I was running normal, like college running, I knew I was at least a decent athlete. And so I remember a high school friend challenged me to a foot race in like the street. And I was like, no, you don't understand. Like I can run like a sub 50, 400. Like I'm better than you. And he's like, no, man. Like, cause he was stronger.
Was he impressed by the sub 50?
No, he didn't know what that meant, whatever. But like he was, I was a skinny guy and he was a fit person. I was like, no, you don't understand. I can actually, I may not look like it, but I can beat you in a foot race. And then we were driving and it was like Christmas break. It's like cold out. And we drive and we just pull off to the side of the street and we both get out and then we run like 50 yards on the street.
Yeah.
I won.
Okay, I was to say who won.
Yeah, I won.
Hopefully you're
He was good though. He was like, because he's an athlete, but you know.
Colt's playing Minesweeper now.
There we go.
Good job, Colt. Throw that up
I didn't know you could play Minesweeper online.
What's he doing wrong? Can you coach him up a little bit?
So the strategy, man.
Since you're the GOAT Minesweeper.
The strategy is not that. See, clearly Colt is not good at this whole Minesweeper game.
I ruined it. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say XL when I said, are you good at anything?
I'm good at XL too.
Yeah, so someone challenged you to XL. You'd probably overestimate your abilities, is what I'm saying. We all overestimate our abilities in a couple things. And he's doing it in track.
One thing I've never lost at is tic-tac-toe.
Also, imagine too, like the thing that you were really good at when you were younger, everybody knew and recognized you for being good at that thing. You were in the newspaper for being that good. You went to the world championships for being that good. They have so much validation of how great they are that it's going to take a real long time for them to believe that they can't do it anymore.
James Clark said, very disappointing that Gordon didn't break down Valby's lack of running the tangents in Stillwater while the race savvy Tui did and reeled her in.
Break it down.
I do remember Valby talking about, that was a big question. Like she mentioned how she just gets distracted by the race cart and she just focuses on the cart ahead of her and just goes in whatever direction the cart's going, which has happened to Abdihamid Nur in that 5K where the race cart didn't go through the finish line. And he's like, oh, going this way. We're making
literally
a turn.
drove off the course.
It just was too focused on the people sitting in the back of that cart. the tangents is not why Valby lost. Even if she hugged every curve perfectly, Tui was going to catch her.
Yeah, but that's something that with experience she'll get better at, and it improves things at the margins. But I'm with you. It wasn't the deciding fact. There was that one that was really obvious early on in the race because she was still somewhat close to the pack, and she went wide, and everybody stayed close. And you're like, wait, where's she?
Yeah.
Where's she going? Because it's a cross country course too, so it's just.
I would say the bigger thing is her not knowing the course, because she did mention she started her kick later than she probably would have because she thought she had more time.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the lead that Tui was able to overcome showed that it was once you close that big of a lead, there was no chance.
Yeah, if it was another 2 or 3 seconds, she still would have been able to close it, I think. All right. We'll end it there. The email address, FloTrackPodcast@gmail.com. Again, thanks to Colt for producing. You can watch the BU meet starting on Saturday.
I'm going to be at a wedding.
Live on FloTrack. Gordon's going to be at a wedding. The Valencia Marathon is going to be on Sunday, so we'll have lots to talk about.
Tomorrow morning, though.
Next week. Tomorrow morning, U.S. versus Netherlands. We didn't have that when we did our track groupings. No, I think we did.
We did.
And this was Femke Bol
versus Sydney McLaughlin.
having to go against Sydney McLaughlin again.
And you know who wins that race? Sydney. So this is good. We might make the round of 8.
Is that your prediction?
I think we're going to win. I think if Sydney can beat Femke Bol, I think the U.S. men can beat the Dutch.
And we did not have Argentina advancing because when you go to best Argentinian track athlete of 2022, there were definitely countries that were better.
Yeah, but Aussies, they got some people. The Socceroos might find a way to upset Argentina. They could do it in track. They're a better track team. And then all of a sudden, if it's
US
Oliver Hoare versus
Sydney McLaughlin.
I'm taking Sydney.
Yeah.
10 times out of 10. Sorry, Ollie.
You're out. All right. Have a great weekend, everyone. We'll see you Monday.